You've likely heard the legend. In 1762, John Montagu, the fourth Earl of Sandwich, was locked in a 24-hour gambling bender. To avoid leaving the card table, he supposedly ordered his valet to bring him meat tucked between two slices of bread so he could eat without greasing his cards. But historians who look at Montagu's actual schedule find a different man entirely. He was a deeply committed statesman, the First Lord of the Admiralty, responsible for managing naval dockyards and the vast logistical demands of the British Empire. He ordered salted beef between toasted bread for a much more relatable reason. He was swamped with work. The original sandwich wasn't a gambling snack. It was the world's first desk lunch. While the Earl's status gave the food its famous name, his story obscures thousands of years of human culinary engineering. The true conceptual origin stretches back to the 1st century BCE. Rabbi Hillel the Elder established a Passover ritual of wrapping roasted lamb and bitter herbs inside a soft matzah bread. In the Middle Ages, Europeans used trenchers, thick slabs of coarse, stale bread that functioned as edible plates. These slabs would absorb the meat juices and sauces during the meal, to be eaten or given to the poor afterward. In both ancient traditions, starch functions as a structural boundary, a handheld tool that protects the eater's hands while absorbing the flavors of the filling. If humans have been using bread as a culinary vessel for millennia, why did the sandwich only become a mass-produced global commodity in the 20th century? The primary bottleneck was the bread itself. Until the 1900s, bread was sold in whole loaves that had to be sliced manually at home, making sandwich assembly a labor-intensive and inconsistent process. That changed with Otto Rohwedder, an American inventor who spent over a decade designing a machine to solve this specific domestic chore. This 1928 patent drawing details his automated bread slicer. The central mechanism allowed an entire loaf to be processed through multiple blades at once. This standardization meant loaves could be mechanically wrapped, preventing pre-sliced bread from going stale. This single mechanical innovation was the turning point, moving the sandwich from a manual kitchen task to a standardized, mass-produced product. Commercial bakeries immediately adopted the technology, rolling out nationally branded, pre-sliced bread to the masses. The availability of cheap, uniform bread arrived at the exact moment the Industrial Revolution demanded a more efficient way to feed urban workers. The sandwich became the ultimate labor solution, allowing workers to consume high-calorie meals directly on the factory floor without stopping for a traditional hot meal. The sandwich wasn't popularized by aristocratic leisure, but because its efficiency made it the essential fuel of the fast-paced modern economy. Because the sandwich is structurally simple, a starch boundary holding a filling, it became a template for global migration and colonial history. In mid-19th century Vietnam, French colonizers introduced the weak baguette, a food originally reserved for the wealthy because of the high cost of imported wheat. After the French left, local bakers modified the recipe, mixing imported wheat with local rice flour to create a lighter baguette with a crisp, crackling crust. Vendors stuffed this modified bread with native herbs, pickled vegetables, and meats to create the banh mi, reclaiming the colonial baguette as a national icon. In India, a similar exchange began when Portuguese colonizers brought yeast-leavened bread rolls, known as pau, to the subcontinent. Goan migrants moving to Mumbai opened bakeries, integrating this bread into the urban working-class diet. Street vendors used the pau to house a fried potato fritter, giving birth to the Vada pav, the spicy street engine of Mumbai's workforce. The sandwich has traveled from an ancient liturgical symbol of suffering to a pragmatic tool for industrial laborers, eventually becoming a globally adapted culinary icon. A sandwich is a physical map of industrialization, labor economics, and human migration held in the palm of your hand. This week, visit a local immigrant-owned deli or bakery, order a sandwich you've never tried before, and taste that history for yourself. And subscribe to the channel for more untold histories behind the everyday objects that shape our world.
Subscribe to us for more such videos.